Welcome to Gentle Yoga with Leo Bray on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center in Palm Springs. Visit us online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook. Check out the schedule, visit the tip jar to make contributions, and YouTubers subscribe to the YouTube channel for us. We'll start today's practice sitting, or if you prefer kneeling, and you don't have to sit the way I sit or kneel in a way that's comfortable for you. I'm sitting on the forward edge of my blocks to let my pelvis tilt forward, open the front of my hips. This is what's comfortable for me. Rest your hands wherever that is comfortable. Close your eyes if you like. Notice your breath. Slowing down, getting deeper. This happens just by finding some degree of stillness and focusing. Taking in the movements of your breath, the contact of whatever you're sitting on, whether it's just the floor, the mat, some other props. Taking in whatever other outward sensations are registering, maybe movement of the air, sounds, sights, and even with your eyes closed, there's visual input. There's that quality of light filtering through closed eyelids. Situating yourself in your environment where you connect with it. Turning inward, scan your body to take in whatever sensations are going on internally. Especially noting anything that's out of whack, any stiffness, any soreness you detect. You can direct your breath there. Think of sending your breath into these trouble spots as they make themselves known. Not looking to push anything away or force a change, inviting some ease, comfort, some more room, some relief, whatever that may look like for you. Inviting sensation itself to be present, valuable information that our body gives to us when we listen. Inevitably during practice, sometimes we'll find that we're not listening to the body, we're not focusing on the breath. Whenever this happens, just gently redirect. We don't need to scold ourselves. As many times as needed, come back to focusing on your breath, what's going on in your body. If there's any other intention you wish to set for your own practice today, you can add that layer now. And with our intentions in place, let's take 3 deep, clearing breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sighing sound. Let your eyes open if they're closed. Let's start from the bottom today. Start with the feet, with opening the ankles. Lift the leg, doesn't matter which one. I'm just taking the one that happens to be in front of the other one, because that's how I was sitting. Let the leg be limp, let the foot be limp. With the opposite hand, interlace your fingers between your toes. Really support the weight of the leg with this hand. Gently and slowly Move your foot in circles, exploring that ankle joint. It's a complex one. There's so many little bones, muscles, tendons, ligaments, hands and feet, very complicated. Lots of nerve endings. Change direction. So we have maybe incidental to the movement we have acupressure going on. Nerve endings in the hand, meeting the nerve endings in the feet. There's a bit of a massage aspect to the grip and the movement. Release your toes, use both arms to support the weight of your whole leg, let the femur hang in the hip socket. Whatever grip works for you. Maybe it's like this, maybe it's different. Make circles with your leg, rock that femur in that hip socket. That's the biggest joints that we have, the hips. And maybe the movement gets a little bigger, things loosen up. Let's change direction. Let that leg down, let's lift the other one. And same thing, smush the fingers between the toes. Slowly and gently, move your foot in circles. Loosen up that ankle, explore how it feels. Change direction. As we move around in the world, all the walking that we do, all the standing that we do, this is an important joint, right? First joint up from the ground. Release your toes, support the weight of the entire leg, and make those bigger circles. And change direction. And let your leg down. Shift whatever you need to be comfortable again. Let your arms hang loosely at your sides. Raise your right shoulder up. Slide it back. Let it down. Your left shoulder up, back, and down. Extend your arms to the sides, rest your fingertips on the floor. Inhale, raise your right arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, let your arm drape across the top of your head. Let the weight of your arm draw your head to the right. For a little more extension, if you like, lift your left hand just a little and reach out for your fingertips like this. See if you can feel the longest position for your trapezius. Let your left hand down if it's raised. Let your neck stay passive. Let your hand slide across and slide down. Let your arm help your head up. Let this hand down. Inhaling, lift your left arm up. As you exhale, let it drape over nice and gently. Draw your head to the left. If you want, raise your right hand a little. Reach out through those fingertips. Feeling for the longest trapezius position. It's this muscle here. Practice, you can tell just what hand position brings that to its longest shape. Let your right hand down. Allow your neck to stay at rest. Let your hand slide across and slide down. And nudge your head up with your hand. This hand. Bring that left hand to your right knee and your right hand to the floor behind you and in line with your spine. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. Let yourself unwind, come to your center, and twist the other way. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. Just seeing how much feels like enough. And let yourself unwind. Let's come up onto our hands and knees. Take your time. However you want to get there. Doesn't have to be the way I just did. Reach back, press into the ball of your left foot. Ease off that pressure a little. Swing your foot out to the side, maybe in line with your hip. If it doesn't go quite that far, it's okay. Starting with real small movements, be gentle. Exhale, sit back a little towards your right heel. Inhale, slide forward. Pay particular attention to how this feels on the inner left thigh, so you don't overdo it. Maybe it feels fine, and maybe bigger movements feel better. Next time your shoulders are above your wrists, stop there. Walk your hands forward. Let your head come down between your arms, like downward facing dog for your upper body. Walk your hands over to the right, maybe a foot or so. Think of sending your right hip a couple inches towards your right heel. Press away from the floor with your hands. Walk your hands back to center line. And then back in under your shoulders. Swing your foot back out behind. Bring your knee back to the floor. Inhale, draw your heart forward. Let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, draw your heart up. Let your head and tailbone go down. Take a couple more cow-cat breaths. And come back to center. Reach back, press into the ball of your right foot. Relax the pressure on your foot. Slide it out to the side. Maybe in line with your hip. Remember to start with small movements and be gentle. Exhale, sit back a bit. Inhale, come forward. And maybe the breathing's not even so important here. If you are moving more slowly, you can let go of paying attention to when you inhale, when you exhale, and just focus on how the movement feels. And let's make the next time we come forward. The last one. Scoot your hands forward, let your neck release and your head hang. And scoot your hands over to the left. Then press away from the floor. Walk your hands back to center. And then back in. Swing your foot back here, bring your knee down, take a few cow-cat breaths again. Now we'll make our way from table to forward fold. You can have blocks under your hands here if you like. Makes for an easier transition. Step your left foot forward and then your right. Hang out in your forward fold and explore movement. Whatever movement feels helpful in your body. Maybe you keep the blocks. Maybe you set them aside. Let your neck disengage, let your head hang down towards the floor. Your hands might be resting on the floor or the blocks, or hanging in the air or dragging on the ground. Gently and slowly shake your head no. And nod your head yes. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach your arms out to the sides. As you exhale, reach for your shoulder blades, hug yourself. Bring your ear towards your shoulder. Roll your chin down past your sternum and up to the opposite shoulder. Then back again, nice and slowly. Face forward. Inhale, open up. Exhale, cross the opposite way. Chin to shoulder. Down through center. Up to the other side. And back again. Then face forward. Inhale to open up. Exhale, twist to the right. Take a couple breaths. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, let your arms down. Inhale, out and up. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms up, reach your palms up. Look up at your hands, lift up your heart. On an inhale, come up through center. Exhale, bend to the left. Feel for length through both arms. Try to keep the right heel down. Sometimes it wants to lift. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale to come up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Inhale out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. On an exhale, slowly lower all the way down. I'm going to stay on the floor and explore a bit here. Get a little twisty. Maybe even takes a half bind. Reach your arms out to the side, palms down. And grip the floor with your right hand. Depending on your floor, you can imagine Velcro or a suction cup on your hand. Walk your left hand in and press away from the floor so that you rock up onto your right hip, let the right side of your head rest on the ground. Front of the right shoulder pressing against the floor, opening it up. So that might be a lot for you. You could stay right there. If you want to explore further, you can lift your left leg away from your right, like opening a pair of scissors. Let your heel drift back if you want. If that feels okay, bend your knee. Let the weight of your leg just hang and see what happens. So don't push your foot down, but maybe gravity and breath draws the foot towards the floor, opening the hip, twisting in the lower spine. And your foot might surprise you and touch down. You might keep your left hand where it is, or if you want to explore further, reach it up towards the ceiling. And like an owl turning your head, you can rotate your arm in the shoulder socket like that. Think of like a weather vane or an owl. You might also bend your elbow, reach the back of your hand to your back. The snap, crackle, pops are optional. Not everyone's joints make these sounds like mine do. I got a pop in the shoulder as I went for this half bind. And I had a pop in my sacrum, somewhere in the lower spine, as my leg drifted towards the floor here. I never know in the moment if those sounds are transmitting through the microphone or not. Now we'll take our time to rewind. So if you moved your right hand, bring it back here. Maybe your chin, press into it to stabilize yourself. And then if you moved your left leg, lift the foot, straighten the leg, bring it forward, let it down against the other leg, walk your left hand back out, come to rest on your belly, rest on your chin or rest on one cheek. And notice how the right shoulder feels compared to the left. Maybe how the left hip feels compared to the right. If you're resting on one cheek, come back to rest on your chin just a moment. Then grip the floor with your left hand. Start to walk your right hand in, pressing away from the floor, coming up onto your left hip. Stay there, or if you like, raise your right leg. Let the heel drift back. And if you want, bend your knee. See what happens from there. If you want, raise your right arm, explore rotation in your shoulder, and or explore that half bind, bringing the back of your hand to your back.
If you've moved your right hand, take your time, bring it back, plant it near your face for stability. If you've moved your right leg, bring it back. And nice and slowly walk your right hand back out. Come back to rest on your belly for a few breaths. Keep feeling like I'm going to sneeze and then it doesn't happen. I'm so glad it didn't happen while I was all twisted like that. I want to think about what that might have felt like. If you're resting on one cheek, come back to your chin. Bring your hands in under your shoulders. Inhale, press into your hands, lift your head and chest to whatever height feels all right in your lower back. Exhale, rock back and up to downward dog. Take your time and walk your dog a bit, pedal your feet up and down. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, down. Step back to plank. On an exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale to bring your heart forward. Exhale to rock back and up. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, down. Step back to plank. When you're ready, on an exhale, lower. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, back and up. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, down. Step back to plank. On an exhale, lower. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, back and up. Walk your hands back to your feet. With your knees soft and your arms hanging heavy like ropes, start to swing your arms front to back. Let your knees be nice and bouncy. Let the weight of your arms pick up momentum so the swinging gets bigger, bigger. When you're ready, swing your arms up overhead, sit back to chair pose. Releasing front of the hips, back of the knees, front of the ankles. And you sit a little lower.
Bring your hands to your heart, press them together, press them against your chest. Keeping your spine long, hands centered, knees lined up just as they are. Exhale, twist to the left. Any amount without losing that alignment. The alignment is more important than the degree of twist. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale through center. Big exhale, full. Inhale, roll all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. And we're gonna explore some more variation with chair pose, but first a little helpful breakdown on chair. I think I haven't done here at Urban Yoga in a while. I think the most valuable thing I ever learned about chair, other than the notion of releasing down instead of efforting, is about the mechanics of your body. It's about the hip sockets. The hip sockets is where chair pose begins. You find your hip sockets by pressing your thumbs in here, just either side of your pubic bone. That's where the femur plugs into the pelvis. And when you press with that, you can feel this release. And it's like, it's been compared to taking the parking brake off on your car. So that's the action that starts the pose, is the release in the hips. And right away, the knees want to release with it. So you can start with the lower body, press, take off the parking brake, and release down, release down. So you can do the lower body, then let the arms go as you start to pinch your thumbs there. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then maybe you can sit a little lower. Let your shoulders down a little away from your ears. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, lower your arms. After a sip of water from me, we'll explore some more variations for chair. It's commonly, we call it chair in English. It's called Utkatasana in Sanskrit, which I've heard different translations because there's always more than one. Lightning bolt, or intense pose. So whether you want to press into your hip sockets or just swing your arms up, come back to chair. Reach your hands in under your arms. Reach them back behind you, palms down. Take a breath. Reach your hands in under your arms and out to the sides, palms down. Take a breath. Reach in under your arms, back up again. Take a breath. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, arms down. Some more variation to play with. Reach your arms forward, known as sleepwalker or zombie chair. And maybe your sleepwalker or your zombie wears heels. So another challenge we can add is to raise the heels. Picture whatever drag outfit you want, if it applies. And anytime you can let your heels down, you challenge yourself to whatever degree works for you. Sit back to chair with the heels raised as you're able. And we can play here with the arms too. Open your arms out to the sides and bring them forward again. And maybe tie that into the breath. Inhale and exhale. Maybe one more. And let's see, can you straighten the legs and keep the heels up? Can you lower your arms as you keep your heels up? And then can you slowly let your heels down? Shake things out. And let's have a seat on the floor. Give the legs a break. pardon my sniffles. It got a lot more humid than it was when I was running around earlier. Feels like just since practice started, it got more humid. I see really dark overcast outside. Extend your legs forward, flex your feet back. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Allow your knees to bend as much as needed. As you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. As you exhale, think of lowering down. Maybe there's some movement, some change of position, or maybe they're just thoughts. Maybe there's a sensation of release without much movement. Sometimes the change is subtler and more internal. Inhaling, walk your hands up the front of your legs, sit yourself up. Use your arms to nudge your legs apart to whatever degree feels okay for you. Walk your hands down your legs to whatever degree feels okay. So maybe your hands are on your knees, your shins, your ankles, your feet. I'm actually enjoying a little foot stretch here. It may look like I'm using my arms to pull myself forward. I'm really just pulling my toes back and enjoying how that feels in my arches, my toes. So resist using your arms to yank yourself down by grabbing your legs. Let the release in the back come from within, come from the breath. Inhaling, walk your hands back up your legs and sit up. Nudge your legs towards each other, bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet together, and bring your heels in close. Interlace your fingers, hold your toes between your hands. Wriggle on your seat to shift the bones in your seat closer to the floor. This tilts your pelvis forward and opens your hips. Similar action to sitting on the front edge of prompts when you started. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips with a long spine. To see how far that goes. Here it's okay to use the arms to help you come down. It's okay too, I'm shifting a little side to side because that seems to help. Not forcing anything, not pushing through pain. Back off if anything hurts, just exploring resistance. Where can we find a little more ease, a little more opening? When the long spine stops lowering, let your head lower. Breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit up. Keep your feet together, shift them forward. So keeping the soles together, slide your feet forward as far as you can while still keeping them together and on the floor. Reach over or under your ankles and walk your hands forward on the floor. Let your head come down again, breathe into your back. Slowly walk your hands back, lift your torso. Use your arms to lift your knees towards each other and your feet. Bring your hands behind you, come down onto your forearms and down onto your back. Heels in nice and close, feet about hip width apart. You can place a block between your knees if you like on the middle position for bridge pose. Pressing into the soles of your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. If you want a deeper heart opener here, you could clasp your hands under you, reach your knuckles towards your heels, and draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Keeping your head on the ground, letting your neck stay relaxed, with or without the bind. If you're taking that bind, release your hands. Exhale, slowly let your hips down. And float up and down a few times at your own pace. Inhale to go up and exhale to go down. Next time you lift up, pause at the top of the movement. Put a prop underneath you at your sacrum and come down to rest on your block or other prop. Feel your body relax against it. Try to let that support under you do all the work.
On an inhale, press into your feet and lift your hips up. Remove the support underneath. Exhale, slowly come down. And move those props out of the way. Draw your knees towards your chest, hug your knees. Rock and roll, massage your back against the floor. Plant your right foot. Cross your left knee over your right knee. If that's not accessible, you can cross your left ankle over your right knee instead. That works too. Extend your arms to the sides, palms up. Shoulders stay on the ground. You can keep this right foot on the ground or lift the heel or lift the whole foot. The closer your knees come to your torso, as you twist, the deeper the twist feels. So you decide how that is for you. Let your legs go to the right and your head turn to the left. And let your breath ring you out. Don't worry about how far the legs go. See what the body wants. Invite it to happen. Just being curious, not aiming at a goal. Take your time to bring everything back up through center. Cross your legs the opposite way. And when you're ready, come into the other twist. Legs going to the left and head to the right. Slowly come back up to center. Uncross your legs. Knees towards your chest to reach your feet up. Reach your hands up to grab your legs or your feet. Play with bending and straightening your arms and legs. In happy baby pose. Or invert in whatever way you like if you prefer something else. in breath for as long as you like, and when you feel complete, you can make your way to your final resting pose. Which might be the traditional corpse pose or might be something else, wherever you're comfortable. As you find comfortable posture, close your eyes if you like. Notice your breath, getting deeper and slower once again. Maybe just focus on that or on an intention you set for yourself, or maybe on nothing in particular. Give yourself some deeper breaths. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. These are just suggestions. You can explore any movement you like, of course. Start to move your arms and legs more. Maybe turn your head from side to side. Mindfully, gently, when you're ready for bigger movements, take your time to sit up. Bring your hands up by your heart.
Thank you for sharing this practice with me. The light within me sees and honors the same light within you. Namaste. On this day before, but for a lot of people is Thanksgiving, I give thanks for all those who practice with me live on Zoom and those who enjoy these videos on YouTube as well. Thanks for being part of this. And enjoy your holiday tomorrow if you have a holiday tomorrow.